What's up, guys? We can see my YouTube channel. I mean, I don't ever do flashy intros. I mean, I'm a guy in like a crappy white t-shirt eating M&M's. Talking about spiritual crap. So I just watched this, oh yeah, like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. So I was watching the beginning of this George Carlin interview, and I guess I could put it on this video, but I can kind of paraphrase. George Carlin starts the interview by saying, I think he did this interview in the early 80s, and George Carlin's a legend. If you don't know who George Carlin is, stop this video, watch a couple of George Carlin tapes, and then finish this video if you like. But he was being interviewed by Charlie Rose, a guy, he's done a gazillion interviews. You guys would recognize him if you just looked him up. And he said something really interesting. He said, you know, he did stand-up comedy for 10, 15 years, and he said his perspective started to change a little bit. He said, the beauty of the human heart lies in the individual. But as soon as you start grouping people together, it starts to get a little toxic, right? Their conscience goes out the window, and it becomes kind of mob rule, right? And so what he did is he divorced himself completely emotionally from any outcome for the human species whatsoever, and just started bad-mouthing it for indefinitely. Right? Which I thought was actually kind of cool. When you think about it, you want to stay detached from the outcome of whatever it is you're trying to provide, because otherwise you're not going to be authentic in what you're trying to provide, right? Like, I don't care about the outcome. I'm not giving you any flashy intros. I'm not going to wear, and that's, you know, why. I mean, this is what I wear around the house. I think this is like the third shirt I've worn today because I worked out and I changed shirts. I didn't shower. I'll probably shower later. I'll shower before I go to bed, most likely. Because, you know, that's just disgusting. But that's true, right? So I've had this group project idea for a while. You know, you're creating things as a group, but here's the thing: whenever you're inside of a group, and you're just doing whatever the group needs, it becomes way too easy. It doesn't really force you to grow in any way, right? In order to like forced personal growth over time, the only way that you can possibly do that is to stay as an individual and never go to work for anybody else but yourself. Eventually, the system's going to want to feed off you in some way, right? You're always trying to keep balance, and because if you're not providing something as an individual to what the community needs, it's that you're going to fall out of balance. It forces growth forever. I mean, you'll go through swings where what you offered at one time is no longer needed. For example, I see a lot of tarot card readers, right? Eventually people start to understand it's like, hey, look, you know, this is resonating with me, but I need to follow my higher guidance or I'm not getting anywhere. So like, it falls into deeper and deeper states of healing, right? You're on the healer's journey. And the healer's journey is always to keep providing the healing that's necessary at the time it's needed. It's like a living organism, right? You don't know what it needs until you put yourself in a situation where it needs it. So, yeah. I mean, think about that for a little while, right? I mean, think about that perspective. As soon as I go to work for a business and doing anything, I don't have to use my intuition. Let's say I'm just twisting a screwdriver for car parts or something, you know. I mean, Who needs that? I mean, that's not really personal growth in any way. What are you going to do when you get out? What if you just have to work for yourself and serve the community in a service community service role and what the community needs? There are some things that need organization, right? I mean, if you've got elderly in houses somewhere where they rely on somebody to come take care of them, then you've got to have a system in place where at least somebody knows somebody needs to be taken care of, right? Who knows? Maybe we just become these like floaty angelic creatures that just start floating in and out of people's houses and just whoa, healing them. It's like, oh, you're fine for another month. I'll see you next Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month, right? I don't know. Yeah, let's just pull some cards. Why am I talking? I just watched. I was watching the old Transformers. If you guys ever seen the 1984 Transformers movie cartoon, I watched the beginning and the end. Optimus Prime dies. It's so sad. And then at the end, well, then he gives the interesting the way it's all worded. And they're fighting this thing that's eating planets, right? It's consuming planets. Orson Welles is the voice for, what's the name? Omnitron, or somebody's gonna tell this in the comments. Say, hey, retard, it's this. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. I don't know. I can't remember. But he turns Megatron into Galvatron. What's his name? Anyway, he's a consumer of planets. And the only thing he's afraid of is the matrix of leadership that Optimus Prime carries, or carried. He saw it transfer to one of the other Autobots. Didn't care about Optimus Prime. Didn't care about any individual Autobot, right? Wasn't any individual person. Only the matrix of leadership and somebody putting on that mantle. Right? What happens when that mantle gets put on? And that light starts shining bright enough, then he explodes. That's the end of the show. As soon as the main character puts on the matrix of leadership, then he explodes. Boom. End of story. And then this is exactly how it's worded at the end of that movie. Watch this movie if you guys haven't seen it in a while. Hot Rod, who turns into the leader. We have now entered a new age of peace. Let us move forward in peace until all are one. And then everybody goes, till all are one. And they put their hands in the middle. Wow. That's pretty interesting, right? Till all are one. Are we going to turn into a giant robot? I don't know. No. That'd be stupid. Endurance. Frustration in reverse. Huh. Falling out of frustration. That's a good thing. I've never gotten one of these cards in reverse before. Oh, interesting. Insecurity. A little bit of insecurity. Look at this insecurity card. This is wild. Chick in a green dress with arrows sticking out of her. She's not feeling sick. She's feeling attacked, right? Feeling a little bit of attack. Like, help. Not really standing in her power. She's standing on a stone, and if you look at her under her right foot, there's like the sketching of like a skull. Can you guys see that? That there's like a skull there. Insecurity. Why would the 7 of arrows or swords be insecurity? Maybe it's wands. I don't know. Whatever it is. It's more on that. And she's all, oh. Balance. We're seeking balance. Waters of life. Ace of vessels. Maybe we're feeling insecure by our surroundings. Maybe our surroundings are attacking us, right? If you're constantly getting attacked from your surroundings, then you wonder what's going on, right? But we're staying in balance, drinking of the water of life, and resting. Even those things are shooting at us, they're not actually hitting us. We're laying down and taking a break and following our north node, right? Pole star. I think that's an excellent message. I think you should all take a break. And just let the arrows fly right by you. Even though we're being exploited a little bit, right? I mean, the village is on fire. You know, nobody's letting us in. There is some exploitation going on out there. I know for a fact. I've witnessed it in the group collective. People are being exploited for different reasons. And so it could be something you're seeing around you. And so you're kind of holding up your sword, right? King of swords, king of bows, like an adder. It's like, you get too close, I'm going to bite you. Get back. I'm taking a break. Right? One more card. But King of Arrows, Kingfisher. Hunting. Doing a little bit of hunting, I think. Alright? I think we need hunting and defense because we're seeing exploitation. Right? When we see exploitation, we're cutting stuff away and we're kind of on the hunt a little bit, right? From a spiritual standpoint. When you see exploitation, it's like, hey, spiritually hunting, not actively engaging in conflict, just cutting it away and letting it take care of itself, right? Because the kingfisher's flying over the water, right? He's not diving for fish. He's just watching. This is a higher self card to me. This is our higher self. See this? This is an older version of ourselves instructing. 10 of Arrows, instruction. I'm going to pull an oracle card and call it a day. So I like this energy, right? We're falling outside of instruction, or falling outside of frustration, moving away from it where we might have felt frustrated before, and drinking of the water of life, and carrying unconditional love for ourselves and everybody else. And like I said before, unconditional love is something that can be misunderstood, right? We have to unconditionally love all parts of ourselves. I mean, all of it is out there. Is, you know, the only time that we ever get frustrated, like this card, but we hit it this way, and the only time that we ever get frustrated is when we're unhappy with other people's actions or our own actions. But the problem with that is that we expect us to do something that we are not ignorant of, but we're ignorant of it, right? If we're not ignorant of something, well, I mean, the only reason we should ever be we do something stupid is because we're in a lower state of awareness, so we're ignorant of what we should be doing potentially. But the reality is we're always doing what we're supposed to be doing because we're haven't grown out of that ignorance yet. That makes sense. And so this state becomes much easier to attain, and you never really get frustrated, right? How can you be frustrated with yourself if you're ignorant of what you should be doing? And the reality is you should be doing everything that you're not ignorant of. So if you feel like you need to be resting, then rest. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.